Mistake turned me. I never thought a single mistake could change how I saw myself. But that's exactly what happened. One small, harmless decision that spiraled into something I could never undo. My name's Ryan, 27. Software engineer by day, invisible dreamer by night. My life is ordinary on the surface. A neat apartment in the city, a girlfriend who adores me, and a job that pays just enough to keep us comfortable. But beneath that calm, predictable layer, there's a side of me no one knows about. A side I've spent years burying under routines, excuses, and fear. Emma, my girlfriend, is the kind of person who commands every room she walks into. Confident, witty, stylish. Everything I secretly wish I could be. She works in fashion marketing, always surrounded by colors, fabrics, and people who live boldly. Next to her, I always feel like the quiet one, the man who prefers the corner of a room to the spotlight. Maybe that's why my secret began. It started innocently, curiosity, maybe envy. When Emma and I first moved in together 2 years ago, she used to leave her clothes draped over chairs, her heels kicked off near the couch, perfume bottles lined up like glass soldiers on the dresser. I'd catch myself staring longer than I should. Not at her, at what she wore. At the way a dress seemed to flow with movement, the sound of her heels clicking against the tiles, the confidence in her reflection. At first, I told myself it was nothing, just admiration. But one night, when Emma was out with her friends, curiosity won. I opened her closet. My fingers brushed against satin, lace, soft knits, all textures that felt forbidden. I shouldn't have. I knew I shouldn't. But the moment I slipped her blouse off the hanger, something inside me shifted. That was the night my mistake began. Now, months later, I've built a fragile system around it. Emma works late on Thursdays. I tell her I'm coding late or gaming with friends. But really, I wait until I hear the elevator doors close, the sound fading into silence, before I let that hidden part of me breathe. I go to the bedroom, close the blinds, and open the small box I keep under the bed. Inside, a wig I ordered online, a simple pink lipstick, a pair of clip-on earrings. Nothing extravagant, but to me, they're everything. I've never told Emma. She wouldn't understand. Or maybe I'm too afraid to find out if she would. She loves me for who she thinks I am, the dependable, easygoing guy who makes her laugh. Not the man who secretly wants to see how it feels to look like her. Last Thursday, though, something changed. Emma had been tense all week about a project at work. Her fashion campaign launch was falling apart, and she'd been snapping at me without meaning to. That night, when she left, I felt both relieved and guilty. I wanted to escape the tension, to slip into something that made me feel different. Free. I went to her side of the closet again, my pulse quickening as I pulled out a soft pastel dress I'd seen her wear once. It was light, airy, with delicate straps and a cinched waist. I hesitated. This was riskier than usual, but my hands trembled with a strange mix of fear and excitement. As I slipped it on, the fabric hugged me differently than my usual clothes ever could. The reflection in the mirror startled me at first, a man in a woman's dress, clumsy and unsure. But the longer I looked, the more I noticed how it softened me. How it brought out a version of me I didn't recognize but couldn't look away from. I applied the lipstick carefully, my heart thudding. The faint scent of Emma's perfume still lingered on the dress, making me dizzy with guilt and longing. I whispered to my reflection, half in shame, half in awe, "Who are you?" The woman in the mirror didn't answer, but she smiled. That's when my phone buzzed. It was Emma. "Hey babe, we wrapped up early. Be home soon." My heart froze. I looked around, the wig, the lipstick tube, the open closet, the heels on the floor. Panic crashed over me like a wave. I only had minutes. My fingers fumbled with the zipper as adrenaline surged through me. But the zipper stuck halfway. That was the moment I realized, no matter how careful I'd been, mistakes have a way of catching up. I tried to breathe, to think, to move faster, but my reflection stared back with wide eyes and smeared lipstick, the dress clinging to my chest like a secret refusing to let go. The sound of the elevator echoed faintly down the hall. Mistake turned me, I muttered to myself, trembling, as I wiped at my lips. I didn't finish the sentence, because I didn't know yet what it had turned me into. But I was about to find out. The zipper finally came loose, but my fingers were shaking so badly that I could barely pull the dress off. I tossed it toward the closet, wiped the lipstick with tissues, and shoved the wig into the box under the bed just as the front door lock clicked. Ryan. Emma's voice echoed through the apartment. I spun around, heart pounding. Yeah, hey. You're back early. Her heels clicked softly across the floor. Yeah, we finished sooner than expected. I thought I'd surprise you. I forced a laugh. Well, surprise. She looked at me suspiciously for a second, her sharp eyes scanning the room. Emma's always had this uncanny ability to notice details. Wrinkles on shirts, misplaced cups, even scents in the air. I prayed she wouldn't notice the faint trace of her perfume still clinging to my skin. She stepped closer, sniffed lightly, and smiled. You sprayed my perfume? My stomach dropped. Oh yeah. I just, missed you, I guess. She laughed and kissed me on the cheek, but her eyes lingered. You smell like me, babe. That sentence alone made my heart skip a beat. If she had arrived 5 minutes earlier, she would have seen exactly why. As she went to the kitchen, I rushed to the bathroom to wash up. I looked at myself in the mirror. My lips were raw from rubbing. A faint pink tint still clung stubbornly to my skin. My pulse thundered in my ears. Never again, I whispered. Never this close again. But I didn't believe my own words. The next few days passed in a blur of guilt and paranoia. Every time Emma looked at me, I wondered if she knew. If she saw something in my eyes, something soft, something different. By Thursday, I'd almost convinced myself to stop completely. I even deleted the online wig shop from my browser history, thinking that would make it easier to quit. But temptation doesn't vanish, it waits. That night, Emma came home exhausted. The campaign's ruined, she said, tossing her bag on the couch. My model dropped out last minute, and the shoot's tomorrow. I sat beside her. Can't they find someone else? It's not that simple. She was supposed to model the main look, the pink silk dress, the new spring line centerpiece. We've got the studio, the crew, everything booked. And now nothing. I hesitated. Can't you model it? She gave me a look. You think I can fit into that? It's made for someone taller and slimmer. Ugh, I just need someone with my complexion and height. Someone close to her measurements. But everyone's either busy or not camera ready. She sighed, rubbing her temples. I felt bad for her. But her words stuck in my mind, taller, slimmer, close to her measurements. I was about her height. A stupid thought flashed across my mind, but I buried it instantly. No. Absolutely not. Except, as the night went on and Emma fell asleep, the thought came back stronger. What if I helped her? Just to try the outfit. Just for fun. Nobody else would ever know. That was how every mistake started, with a little justification. The next morning, Emma woke up early, already panicking about the shoot. I stayed home that day, pretending to work remotely. She texted me a few times from the studio, frantic messages, stressed emojis, even one that read, I wish I could just clone someone to wear this damn dress. When she said she was coming home for lunch to grab something, I didn't think much of it. But when I opened the closet to grab a jacket, my eyes fell on that same silk pink dress she mentioned. It looked harmless enough on the hanger, elegant, soft, shimmering faintly in the sunlight sneaking through the blinds. I told myself it was ridiculous, but curiosity was stronger. I took it off the hanger. The fabric slid like water between my fingers. My reflection in the mirror waited, silent, expectant. This is stupid, I whispered. It's just to see how it fits. For Emma. I slipped into it. The sensation was instant. Lightness, unfamiliarity, thrill. It fit surprisingly well. Too well. The silk hugged me like it recognized me. I looked in the mirror again, and my breath caught. My chest rose and fell quickly. For a moment, I wasn't Ryan, the quiet programmer. I was someone else. Someone softer, freer, alive in a way I never allowed myself to be. I fixed the wig from the box, clipped the earrings, and, despite my better judgment, added the lipstick again. And there she was. The reflection smiled back. Mistake, I murmured. Or maybe the beginning? The front door clicked. My body froze. Emma wasn't supposed to be back for another hour. I stumbled toward the bedroom door, panic seizing my chest. I could hear her voice in the hallway, talking to someone on speakerphone. I grabbed a robe, but the silk dress peeked out beneath it. Ryan. Her footsteps were getting closer. I darted into the bathroom, closing the door just before she turned the corner. Ryan, are you home? My voice cracked. Yeah. Just in the shower. Oh, okay, she replied cheerfully. I just came to grab the makeup kit. We're trying to find replacements for the shoot. Her heels clicked past the door. My heart pounded so loudly I could barely hear. But then silence. Too much silence. Ryan, her tone changed. Why's the closet open? I gripped the edge of the sink. Did you touch my dress? The handle on the bathroom door turned slightly. I held my breath. A drop of water from the tap fell, echoing in the tense air. Then her phone rang again. She sighed and walked away, answering it. The moment I heard the front door close again, I collapsed to the floor, breathing hard. My heart hammered so fast it hurt. I'd almost been caught. That night, I tried to act normal, but Emma seemed distant. Her eyes lingered on me more than usual. You're quiet, she said finally. Just tired, I muttered. She tilted her head. You smell like my perfume again. I froze. She smiled faintly. It's okay if you like it, you know. You can tell me. Tell her? How could I possibly? I fumbled for an excuse. I just used the wrong bottle by mistake. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. Sure. The next few days were torture. Every time she looked at me, I felt exposed. I kept imagining her finding the box, the wig, the lipstick stains on tissues I forgot to throw away. But the real mistake came a few days later. Emma texted me from work. Don't forget to drop off the camera bag at the studio. I grabbed it from the closet, but when I zipped it open to check, something caught my attention. The same pink dress, neatly folded inside. It felt like fate testing me again. I hesitated, fingers hovering over the fabric. Just one last time, I whispered, to say goodbye. I put it on. Slowly, carefully. Like a ritual. The silk brushed my skin, soft and dangerous. I paired it with nude heels she left near the door. I stood before the mirror, heart trembling. I turned, watching the light catch the fabric. For a moment, I forgot everything. Emma, fear, guilt. There was just me. I smiled, letting that side of me breathe. Then knock. A sharp, sudden knock on the door. Ryan? It's me. I forgot my phone charger.
Emma.
My stomach twisted. I looked at my reflection. Lipstick, dress, wig, heels. There was no time. I turned off the lights, panicked, trying to pull the zipper down. It jammed again. She knocked louder. Ryan. I froze. If I didn't move, maybe she'd think I wasn't home. Then my phone buzzed loudly on the counter. She heard it. I heard her keys jingling. The lock turned. My breath hitched. The sound of the door unlocking sent a shock through my entire body. My heart was a drum inside my chest. The zipper wouldn't move. My hands were slick with sweat, trembling so badly that I could barely grip it. The door creaked open. Ryan. Emma's voice echoed, uncertain. Are you home? I froze in place, half turned toward the mirror. The reflection looking back at me wasn't just mine, it was someone else's. Soft, frightened eyes beneath a wig that sat slightly askew, a pink silk dress that shimmered with guilt under the dim light. The reflection wasn't just a secret anymore. It was me, exposed. Footsteps approached. The sound of heels on the wooden floor grew louder. Ryan, are you ignoring me? Her voice was close now, too close. I had seconds. I looked around frantically. There was no place to hide. No way to explain. The lipstick tube was still open on the counter, the faint scent of her perfume thick in the air. Please, I whispered to myself. Just go away. The handle turned. The door opened. For a moment, neither of us moved. Emma stood in the doorway, eyes wide. Her mouth parted slightly, but no words came out. She just stared, taking in every detail. The wig, the heels, the lipstick. The pink silk dress that used to be hers. "Emma," I started, my voice trembling. She blinked, her expression unreadable. What are you doing?" I opened my mouth, but no words came. Every possible excuse died before I could speak. She took a step closer, still in disbelief. "Ryan, is this some kind of joke?" I shook my head quickly. "No, I can explain." Her eyes darted to the mirror behind me, then back to my face. "You're wearing my dress." I know, I shouldn't have." "And my wig. My lipstick." Her voice broke slightly, a mix of shock and confusion. "Ryan, why?" The room was silent except for the soft hum of the air conditioner. I felt the burn of tears forming. "I didn't mean for you to find out like this," I whispered. "It started as curiosity. I swear. I just wanted to know what it felt like to be someone else for a little while." She stared at me, speechless. I could see the storm behind her eyes. Hurt, anger, confusion. All fighting for control. "Someone else?" she repeated softly. "Or someone you want to be?" That question hit me harder than anything. I didn't know how to answer. I didn't even know the truth myself. "I don't know," I admitted. "When I wear these things, it feels like I can breathe. Like I'm not hiding anymore. But I never wanted to hurt you." Emma looked down, her hands trembling. "I just don't understand. How long has this been going on?" "A while," I whispered. "Before we moved in together." She laughed quietly, but it wasn't the kind of laugh that came from amusement. It was disbelief. "You've been hiding this from me for years?" Tears welled in my eyes. "I was scared, Emma. I thought if you knew you'd leave. That you'd think I was disgusting or—" "Stop." She held up a hand, her breathing uneven. "Just stop." I did. She paced back and forth, one hand pressed to her forehead. I watched her, every step, every expression, and felt the distance between us grow like a wall. Then she turned to me again, her voice sharper now. "You lied to me, Ryan. Every time you said you were working late or gaming, you were doing this." "I didn't mean to lie," I said desperately. "I just didn't know how to tell you. You should have trusted me." Her voice cracked on the last word. That hurt more than her anger. I took a cautious step forward. "Emma, please. Let me explain." She backed away. "No. I just need a minute. I need to think." But as she turned to leave, her heel caught on the rug. She stumbled, and in that moment, her hand grabbed the edge of the vanity. The perfume bottle toppled, crashing to the floor. The glass shattered, spilling the scent of roses everywhere. The smell hit me instantly, familiar, bittersweet. We both froze, looking down at the shards glistening in the light. And somehow, that small, fragile moment broke something inside me. "Emma," I said quietly, "I'm sorry. But I can't keep pretending that this part of me doesn't exist. I didn't plan it. I didn't want it. But when I see myself like this, it feels real. It feels right." She looked up, eyes wet. "Right? You think this is right? Lying to me, sneaking around behind my back." "No," I said, cutting her off. "That part was wrong. I know it was. But this," I gestured toward myself, trembling. "This isn't just about clothes. It's about feeling whole. And I don't know how to make you understand that without losing you." For a long moment, she didn't say anything. Her face softened, then hardened again. I could see her fighting tears. Then, in a quiet voice, she asked, "If I hadn't come home early, would you have ever told me?" I hesitated. The truth felt heavy in my throat. I wanted to. I just didn't know how. She nodded slowly, looking away. "That's what hurts the most." The silence stretched. The air between us was thick with everything unspoken: fear, love, betrayal. Finally, Emma sighed. "Take it off." I froze. "What?" "Take it off," she repeated, her tone flat. "The dress, the wig, all of it." I swallowed hard. Emma, please. Now, Ryan. The way she said my name sent a shiver through me. I turned toward the mirror, my fingers reaching for the zipper. This time, it slid down easily, like even the dress knew the moment was over. I removed the wig slowly, my heart breaking with every inch. The room felt colder without it, emptier. The lipstick smeared as I wiped it away, leaving faint traces on my cheek. When I finally looked up, I was just me again. Ryan. But the way Emma looked at me, it was like she didn't see me anymore. I need to go, she said finally, voice trembling. I just need some time to think. Emma, please don't go. She shook her head, tears spilling down her cheeks. I don't know who you are right now, and that scares me. She turned, grabbed her keys, and walked toward the door. I took a step forward, desperate. Emma, wait. She stopped, hand on the handle, but didn't turn around. Was it really a mistake? She asked softly. The question hung in the air. I don't know, I whispered. Maybe it started as one, but it doesn't feel like one anymore. She stood there for a few seconds, her shoulders trembling. Then, without another word, she walked out. The door clicked shut. The silence that followed was deafening. I stood there for what felt like hours, staring at my reflection in the mirror. The same mirror where I'd once seen a stranger, then something beautiful, and now a ghost of both. I touched the fabric still lying on the floor, the perfume still lingering in the air. The apartment felt emptier than it ever had before. I didn't know what Emma would do next. If she'd come back. If she'd tell someone. If she'd ever look at me the same way again. But as I looked at my reflection, half Ryan, half the woman I had been moments ago, I realized something. This wasn't just about a dress. It never was. It was about the person I'd been hiding. And now that she'd been seen, I couldn't go back to pretending she didn't exist. The apartment was too quiet. No ticking clock, no music, no laughter, just the faint hum of the refrigerator and the smell of spilled perfume still hanging in the air. Emma was gone. I stood in front of the mirror again, staring at the faint pink smudge that refused to fade completely from my lips. My fingers trembled as I touched it. It wasn't just lipstick, it was proof. Proof that the secret was no longer mine alone. For the first time in years, I had nothing to hide, and it didn't feel freeing. It felt terrifying. I sat down on the edge of the bed, still wearing the half-zipped dress that I couldn't bring myself to take off completely. The silence pressed down on me like a weight. Every corner of the room reminded me of Emma, her laughter, her perfume, the way she'd once said, "You're the one person I can always trust." Now, I wasn't sure if she'd ever say that again. My phone buzzed suddenly. The sound jolted me. I snatched it up, heart hammering. It was a message from Emma. Just one line. I left something for you on the table. I hesitated before getting up. My legs felt weak as I walked to the living room. There, on the table, was a small black box, her handwriting on a sticky note taped to it. You said you didn't know who you were. Maybe this will help. My breath caught. I opened the box slowly. Inside was a lipstick. The same shade of pink I'd been wearing earlier, the one she'd seen me in. Only this time, it wasn't smudged or half-used. It was brand new. I stared at it, confused. My heart pounded harder with every passing second. What did this mean? Was it forgiveness? A test? A goodbye? My phone buzzed again. Another message. We need to talk. Tomorrow. Don't change who you are tonight. Just think about what you really want. I sank into the chair, staring at the screen. The words blurred through my tears. Don't change who you are tonight. I looked down at the lipstick again, then at the mirror across the room. My reflection was still half undone, hair messy, makeup smeared, but undeniably me. I lifted the lipstick, hands shaking, and twisted it open. For a moment, I hesitated. Then I took a deep breath and applied it slowly, carefully, the same way I had the very first time. The color bloomed on my lips, soft and bright under the light. I met my reflection's eyes and whispered, maybe this isn't a mistake after all. Outside, I heard a car pull up. My heart skipped a beat. I froze, listening. Footsteps. A door closing. Then knocking. 3 gentle knocks. My pulse quickened. Was it Emma? Had she come back already? I turned toward the door, every muscle in my body trembling. I didn't move. The knocks came again, louder this time. I took a hesitant step forward, the hem of the silk dress brushing against my legs. Another knock. Ryan. It was Emma's voice, soft, careful, uncertain. I looked at my reflection one last time. The person staring back wasn't sure who they were anymore, but they weren't afraid to find out. I reached for the doorknob, my heart racing, my breath unsteady. And then, the screen went black.